Bob?
I think embracing school governance councils is one portion. Obviously, PTOs is huge in schools. I think another thing is there's obviously social media is big now. It's much easier for a parent to jump on a smartphone and be updated as to what's going on. But I think there's also a lot of students and families that may not have access to it. So I think just going above and beyond through trying to communicate through the school is important as well. One of the things which potentially could help this is I know that there's a new policy where PTOs will now have access to parents' emails. So PTOs are going to be able to, let's say, more easily access or have access to parents to communicate with them.
Okay, Ms. Buzzo?
I think Norwalk has really strong PTOs. The parents in each of the individual schools are very focused on their schools, on their students, on their children. I think that I agree with Joe as far as social media goes. I think unfortunately some parents don't have the time because of time restraints with their work. Some are single parents, some are working 2 jobs and they want to be involved but they're unable to. So I think the use of social media and keeping parents linked in is definitely going to be a good way to keep all parents involved in the school system.
Mr. Lyons.
I think you have to keep doing a number of the things that we've been doing the last couple of years. When we did the superintendent searches, for instance, we did very extensive community outreach efforts where we had open meetings all around the community to allow people to come in and give input on what they were looking for in a new superintendent. That community input, largely from parents, had a lot to do with how we wrote the profile for what we're looking for in a new superintendent, and it brought us a couple of good ones. We've also, in the last couple of years, initiated a process of having a whole series of public meetings as we develop our budget each year. So in November, December of each year, we've been having half a dozen or so public meetings where parents can give us direct input into the actual budgetary decisions that we're making when we run their school system. I'm also very, very excited about Dr. Adamowski's desire to use school governance councils. The school governance councils, as they're set up under state law, are only mandated in about half a dozen schools. We are going to require that all 19 schools have school governance councils. These councils have parents elected by the parent body, teachers selected by the teachers, the principal and community leaders, as well as students at the high schools. And my experience with the school council at Marvin School in the 1990s, when my kids were little, was that we had parent meetings where 200 parents came out night after night to participate in efforts to redo that school. So I've seen how a well-run school council can work, and Dr. Adamowski intends to turn these councils into actual management bodies where parents can participate in the management of their schools. Giving people a real role in the management of their schools, I think, will encourage a lot more participation by our parents.
Okay, anything on that side? Yeah.
Are we going to have one more question, or should I use my last rebuttal here?
You might as well use a rebuttal here because the next question I've been told to ask is only going to be yes or no.
Okay.
And it's going to be for all 5 of you, and then go to close.
So real quick, and I know Mike had 2 minutes, but Dr. Adamowski is very data-driven. The school governance councils that don't rise up to the bar are going to be monitored, and there will be central office intervention if they're not doing what they need to do. So this is important. This is where we've fallen down in the past. Is like some schools are a lot stronger than other schools. We're not going to let that happen. This is going to be certain measurable data and metrics that they have to meet. So I think that's very important to this initiative so that we just don't end up where we've always ended up, right? Highly performing, low performing. Thank you.
This question, this is not fair, whoever asked this, but I've been told by the local